Hello, everyone. My name is Audrey Conner, and I'm the founder of ACG Math Tutoring and the Academic for Athletes. Thank you so much for having me and actually coming to this section to learn how to tutor secondary students and adults. As we all know, once they get older, it's kind of hard to kind of wrangle them in, but when you get them in, it is so satisfying to see how they prosper. So again, I was a former classroom teacher like most of you guys, and I got to that point where the foolishness was enough. So I just decided to, hey, I really wanted to do something that's going to keep me in the loop with student and also for student athletes, and also just to really be a part of something bigger than me. And overall, I just want you to know I'm just like you. We got tired in the classroom. We wanted to grow and prosper, but they wouldn't let us. So now we're going to take it upon ourselves to run our own businesses and to help the students that really, really want the assistance. So like most things, most of you guys are either one or three categories. You're either, this is a test. So basically you're currently a teacher who's looking to venture into tutoring, but not sure if they're willing to take that huge leap into the pool. Or you're in the early stages of tutoring. So you're like one of those tutors that are, in that transitioning from being like a full-time teacher to wanting to be a full-time tutor. And you're like, can I seriously do this full-time? Or is it a dream that someone else made up? Or you're in that third stage. You want to learn more about it. You've been tutoring for a long time. Either you were doing in-person before the pandemic, or you're going back to in-person, or you really want to get fully into the online, but you're just looking for some resources and some, kind of support. And that's where basically we are. So there's a mixture of us here. But overall, we definitely want to tutor. And we definitely want to help kids and help them achieve what they want to achieve. So for me, I'm stuck between two worlds. I have high school on one side and I have adults on the other. And a lot of people say, yeah, you can mix them up. Don't do that. Because a high school student, they basically are worrying about graduation. They just want to have fun. So they're really looking at this as, I have to do this because I was told that I had to do this. Whereas adults, we have our life ahead of us. We're having kids. We're trying to, sacrifice. And a lot of us are really trying to go back into the classroom. So a lot of them are like, look, I haven't been in the classroom for a long time. And now all of a sudden I have to go by these rules. Or if I'm taking a community college course, I have to learn basically a whole thing of Algebra 1 in 7 weeks, which is not possible. But with our assistance, we're able to help break those concepts down so they're not going to be as lost, and then they'll be confident enough to want to branch out and to learn more and to do more. So one of the pros of tutoring older students is they can advocate for themselves. I don't have to try to draw the information out of them, like, just tell me what you need. Most of the time, if they're like, I'm completely lost about this, they verbalize that. They're either showing it on their faces or they're actually saying it. So they know how to basically advocate for themselves. The next thing is, I can actually use real world concepts and to apply it. Because with the younger generation, it's almost like if you go beyond ice cream, they're just kind of a little bit lost with it. But with my older ones, I can actually use phrases and terms that I would use when I was a kid with most of the adults, or I would use terms and phrases that today's high schoolers can really associate with. I always say, if I can put it with food, relationships, and social media, you're good. The next thing is they have great personalities. They're not so much trying to sell you like, hey, let's be friends. It's more so like, look, I need to get this done. I want to get it done and not be tortured. Is that possible? And those are the things that I really look forward to when I have my students. Like, I like their personalities. I like who they are. And not only just there for tutoring, but also like for athletics and also social things. And we kind of mix a lot of that stuff up within each of our sessions. Now, like the pro, there's always a con. All right, let's be real. So one of the things is, especially the adults, they basically tend to other people's needs beyond themselves. It's ridiculous. Like, think about it. A parent is going to do whatever they need to do for their child. So then most of the parents or most people, when they're older, they're like, yeah, I want to go back to school. I want to get my GED. I want to, get the accreditation so I can get this promotion. They're usually thinking about this around Christmas time. Everything's all festive and everybody's like all happy and everything. But then when it comes down for them to come in their session, the first session, a lot of times they come. But that second session, all of a sudden, oh, my child needs this, or my child needs that, or, oh, my sister is doing this and I got to do that. And they tend to put other people's needs before them, which means there's going to be a lot more cancellations. And sometimes they cancel altogether. And the other thing is the early morning or later in the evening sessions, because that's the only time they have, as well as weekends. So if you're thinking of like, all right, I just want to tutor from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, unless you're doing homeschoolers, you're not going to see a lot of your students during that time. You're probably going to see them around 4 o'clock and later, because that's when they're free. That's when they're out of school. That's when they don't have to worry about their younger kids, because the kids are over at some other activity and they got an hour free to focus on what they need to focus on. So even though there's a lot of pro with their personalities, but sometimes the con is just trying to figure out what their schedules are going to be and how they're going to fit it all in. So how we're going to put all this stuff together, how we're going to get started. So first you have your essential resources. Then you need to figure out, what is your model? What will be your business model? We know the content easily, hands down. We've been doing it for years, but now we got to think like a business person. Then on top of it, who is going to be our ideal clients? And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I know that. But here's the thing. Your ideal client always changes. Every time we're sitting here thinking like, yeah, we want secondary students, Audrey, and adults. Yeah, but who? Do you want kids that are coming from low-level income? Or you want kids that are coming from higher? Or do you want people that are really struggling and just want to get their GED? Like, who are your ideal clients? Because here's the thing, you can control that. Only you can control that. You get to pick who you want to tutor. Unlike in the classroom, when they just always jamming them in there. They're like, oh, you can fit one more kid in there. And you're like, oh, no more kid, right? But they're like, oh, you'll be fine in tutoring. So that's the only thing, is be truthful to yourself. Who is it that you want to be your ideal client? So let's look at the essentials. So first you have the computer, duh. Then you have your Wi-Fi, make sure it's good. Then you have some kind of streaming platform like Zoom, okay? Sometimes Microsoft Teams will be another thing. So like, how are you going to project this session to those people? And the other thing I kind of like to have is a writing pad. So a writing pad is one of those electronic ones that a lot of people like to draw and do all decorative, but I like to use it, especially when I'm doing all of my math problems with the kids, because here's one thing. If that child has a computer and it is a Chromebook, they will not be able to annotate. For some reason, Zoom and Chrome does not communicate. I don't know why. But if anything, make sure that you have something, and you could ask the student, what would you like for me to write down? And then after you're done with the situation or the problem, in my case, then I will ask them, hey, there's a couple spots that's kind of messed up. What can we do to make the arrangement? And they have to go and tell me, because not only they're going to try to figure out what I should write, but they also have to understand what is the process. Learning, people, learning. Another thing is an automatic scheduler. So for me, I don't do invoices. No, I'm not doing invoices at all, because it's too much. It's too much. Then you have to keep track. And especially in the beginning, yeah, you got 1 or 2 clients. That's perfectly fine. But what happens if you have 10 clients, 15 clients? What happens if you all of a sudden become fully booked? For me, my fully booked is 31 kids, and that has happened. I am not doing invoices for 31 people. That's not happening. No, no, boo-boo. No, no. So find some automatic scheduling systems. There's plenty out there, how to do the scheduling, how to send reminders, and also how it can take payments, something that's an all-in-one. That's going to be huge for you, okay? Total game changer. The other thing is have a digital whiteboard. You don't want to have a whiteboard back here saying, okay, we're going to do some problems. Ready? And you're turning your back on your client. Plus, they won't be able to see it back here, okay? A lot of us like to have a green screen. For me, I don't have a green screen. This is an actual bookcase. So with that having there, you can have like a digital whiteboard. I like to use what's called OneNote. OneNote is often from Microsoft, and I can actually have the kids send me a picture via text, and I would use Bubble Up to transfer it onto OneNote. So then during OneNote, I can have everything that I need right there on the tip. The next thing is your business model. What do you want that business model to look like? How do you want to present yourself, not only to your clients, but to the world? What is it that you're looking at? So are you going to be a solo proprietor, or are you going to have an LLC? What's your availability is going to be? What is your pricing? And what is your budget to basically buy all these little doodads to help you through it? Now, make sure you don't go with all the sparkly things. Go for what you need. You need a scheduler. You need a computer. You need active internet and Wi-Fi. You should have a whiteboard component, but at the same time, you want something that's going to be effective and that's going to long-term. What is your marketing strategy? Are you going to go online? Are you going to go just face-to-face? Are you going to go like place-to-place? Are you going to consider your time zones? Do you have a mentorship? Who's your target demographics? Should you have a business coach? Should you do for-profit or for nonprofit? I know. Ready? It's a lot, and it's okay. I've been doing it for a little bit, and it took me some time to figure all this stuff out. So I'm not expecting you to figure it out like that, okay? You just right now want to get clients, you want to be able to do the process, and you want to be able to get paid. But here's the thing. Don't forget that you also have to pay taxes. And that was a huge thing for me, that I had to learn that I had to pay my taxes quarterly. Now, remember, every state is different. Some people do a high percentage, some people do it at a 40%. I know here in Maryland, it's a good old 60% of your income is going straight to taxes. Yeah, no, okay. It was a shock of a moment, but these are the things that you have to understand. It's not just the content. You also have to understand the business side of this. So my suggestion, look at videos, look at motivational videos, read books. They're all out there for you, how to sell and how to promote yourself. So in addition to all that, who is your ideal client? Can you figure them out? Can you see that little avatar? Like, who is that person? You got it in your mind? Okay, where are they? Where can you find them? You know, what are their pain points? And one thing I like to look at is, what is their personality trait? I want to make sure I work with people that get me and I get them. They have a great, pleasant personality. I'm not going to have to deal with any attitude. I don't have to worry about upsetting them for any little thing. Those are my peoples, okay? But then you always have to ask yourself, where am I going to find them? Well, here's a couple of places. Write these down. Try to check out your local PTA, okay? Any of the Parent Teachers Association with any local schools, basically they run the school. So they will, if you talk to them and try to get who's in charge and get their number, or maybe find an email, reach out and just talk to them like, hey, I would love to have a meet and greet with you real quick, or just a really quick 5-10 minute briefing about who I am and how I can help your students and your student athletes. Also the counselors, go to the high school counselors. a lot of them, they're the ones that are actually doing the grading. So why not go to the counselors? Go to a lot of the to-go restaurants, a lot to the carryouts. I received students from sushi restaurants. I received students from flyers that I posted in barbecue shacks. I received kids from some of the supermarkets if they have their community boards in the front as they're leaving. All that. Coffee houses, all that. My picture is almost everywhere in my little area. Social media platforms, Facebook is a lot for people that are in the 30s and the 40s. They're going to be in Facebook and TikTok. Yes, eventually you're going to have to do a dance, but as long as they get to see your personality, they're going to connect your personality with your business. Before you know it, they're going to be coming on in, right? And then also check with those local small businesses. Don't forget, don't sleep on those because they're struggling, but when they get people, you can get people. Learn to think a little bit outside the box. And don't forget, word of mouth. Tell everybody what you're doing. Everybody, don't hold it back. Don't be like, I think I want to do this. Talk to your former colleagues. Talk to your family members. Talk to your neighbors. There, in the beginning, I put flyers in my neighbors' mailboxes. We have a Facebook group. I always plug something in there. I'm like, hey guys, if you do need a tutor, just let me know. And you just take it from there. All you need is like one kid. If you can get one kid and you do well with that one kid, all of a sudden that one kid's going to tell 2 or 3 of its friends, and then bada boom, bada bing. Next thing you know, you're fully booked. But it will take time. But people have to know that you exist. If they don't know you exist, they're not going to call you. So now you're popular, you're famous. Boom, the phone is going off. It's like bing, 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 bing. You have no idea what's happening. Oh, this person needs a tutor. This person needs a tutor. Are you available? What do? You have a meet and greet. Every time, like for me, I have my website. A lot of my friends, I try to gear them right to the website, or I have like a link tree, something. They go to that, they sign up a registration. Really simple, short, to the point. And then I will have a meet and greet with them. As soon as I get it, I'm on the phone with them. Hi, this is Audrey from ACG Math Tutoring. I just received a request for tutoring. How may I help you? Is this a good time to talk? Let them be like, yes, oh my God, thank you so much for getting back to me. And a lot of them say, thank you so much for getting back to me quickly. And I'm getting back to them in like 2.2 minutes. There's a couple things that I normally do, and it's just my thing. Some people do more. I like to kind of keep these meet and greets to roughly 15 to 20 minutes. And that's including with a small little conversation with the student towards the end. So the first thing that I do, I basically ask that I want to meet with the parent and the child, and I do this via Zoom. I don't like to do it on the phone because I can't see your facial expression. You can't see my facial expression. So let's do it via Zoom because that's where we're going to have the sessions, right? And the one thing that I do ask them, I say, how can I help you? And then I zip it and I listen. I don't chime in, oh yeah, I feel the same way. No, because parents, when it comes to this, when it comes to their child's education, they really didn't have too much of a voice. There's a lot of times that they're just always being told what they need to do. So this is probably the one and only time that they have an opportunity to talk about what's going on with their child, what they're seeing. And after the parent says what they need to say, go to the child and say, well, how do you feel about your math class? What's going on? What do you feel is going on with your math class? Because sometimes the parent's perspective and the kid's perspective could be 2 separate perspectives. And the parent would be like, I never knew that. It happens every time, okay? So write down those pain points. Write down those things that's going on. Write down some of the key things that you hear. I don't even understand math. I don't get what they're doing. I don't understand this Singapore stuff, and I don't understand this, and I don't know how to help my child. My child feels dumb, or the kid will say, you know, everyone else gets it except for me, and I don't like it. It makes me feel terrible. Write all that stuff down. So you can, at the end of the conversation, say, well, I'm hearing this. Am I correct in hearing this? Okay, so let me tell you how I can stop this. And then after you do that, ask them this one other question, like what resources have they received from the school? So it's another nice way of saying, is your child in special ed? You don't want to say, is your child special ed? Because that's just too much, because a parent doesn't want their child to be seen differently. So it'll be best for you to just say, what other resources have you tried at the school? Oh, I've been to coach class. Oh, I've talked to the counselor, or, they don't really respect my IEP. Oh, let's talk about that. And just really get into it without you saying, does your child have special ed services? No, you're not trying to make that child feel any more different than they already are. That's why my fifth one is to give that reassurance. The fifth thing is to give that reassurance to the clients that I'm in your corner. Like after we do a service, like a session, and you don't want me to do it anymore, then we don't have to do it anymore. That's it. Just have a communication. That's it. And then after we have that, I said, okay, a lot of people like to do a pre-assessment or a free consultation. For me, I want to see what they're currently doing in their class and say, well, how do you feel about this? Well, I'm a little confused. I'm like, okay, well, let me work it out. Let's work out some problems together. And we do a couple of problems. Some people see that as a consultation. All right. But for me, if I want to see their previous work, I just ask them, can you send me a picture of your last test? Or can you send me a picture of your one assignment that you just bombed it? Let me take a look at that. I don't have to pay money for something separate because kids don't like to do more stuff, especially at this age, okay? So that's why I just basically take like 20 minutes to a half an hour, have a discussion. Once I work with the current stuff, I shut it down. I say, all right, how did you feel? And the kids would be like, oh, I like this. Thank you so much. I'm like, okay, I'll call your mom in a few. End it with the kid. Give them some time for them to chit chat. And then after they chit chat, then I call them and say, hi, how's things going? How'd you like it? This is part of the closing the deal. So you ask for the feedback. How did your child like it? She's like, oh my gosh, she loved it, or he loved it. He really liked you, all this stuff. Your personality worked well, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Let's talk turkey, okay? And that turkey is pricing. So that's why it's always nice to know your pricing and also your availability before you do anything, okay? Figure out what days you want to be open for and at what times. So when it's time for you to talk turkey, then you can actually do all this stuff right then and there. Close it. For me, my mindset is every time I get a recommendation, I got a new student. Every time. That's my mindset. Oh, I just got a new student. Great. So after we talk, you tell them your price. Now, here's the thing. Say the price and then zip it. We are the ones that sabotage ourselves because we're so used to being the martyr for so long while we were in the classroom. Now we're doing a business. This is how we eat. This is how we keep the lights on. This is how we keep the internet on. This is how we have payment of the computer, because we have to name our price. We need to figure out ahead of time how much we want to charge. And whatever that price is, you say it and you zip it. Before you know it, they're like, all right, well, let's try it for a day. I'm like, okay, we'll try for a full hour. Let's see if that works. If it does, great. Add that person to your calendar, send the necessary reminders, and then I like to have a second calendar. So like right behind you guys, I have like a huge wall calendar that has all the dates and the times for this current month and when I have openings. So I can automatically tell people when I have an opening, what time, right then on this. Now, what to expect. I don't want to give you the dream. I want to be real with you. It's not going to be easy the first year. First year, if you're able to get 20 kids your first year, you go. You're amazing. Let's hit it. But trust me, There's going to be some people, it's going to take you months to get one student because people have to know who you are. So I like to be truthful. One of the things, everything is going to take time. Please remember that. Everything is going to take time. My main drive is build relationships first. They need to get to know you. Because I know if someone came across to me and said, I want to marry you, this is it, you are the best thing I ever had. For me, I'm going to be like, whoa, slow down, killer, because we're not doing this, right? You don't want to be so in everybody's faces because they're going to be like, I don't know you. I'm about to have you spend time with my child. Yeah, this is crazy. Because during the sessions, at least the first two, you know, mom and dad is kind of in the same room listening, making sure that you're saying everything appropriate, making sure that you're keeping it clean, because this is their baby boy or baby girl. So they're really going to be protective of it. So by you building your relationship, how can you do that? You can get on social media, show your personality. Please, for heaven's sakes, if you do have a social media page, please don't put just stock photos on there. People want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to see samples of what you can do. Do that so people get to know you. And then respond back to people. You see some posts, respond. So that, oh yeah, there's Audrey. Oh, wait, Audrey, you're a math tutor. My child needs help with geometry. Okay, hook up, let's go. One, do not compare yourselves with other tutors. You will lose your mind, okay? Or like, oh, that person's post is so much nicer than mine. Well, then get Canva and then make your own. Make yours nice. Make yours yours. This is your business, okay? So don't compare yourself to other people. And then the last one, make sure you plan and prepare for those downsides. Trust me, around Christmas time, New Year's, and spring break and summer are the downsides. I'm going to be truthful, of the 52 weeks out of the year, you'll probably work around 33 to 34. You're never going to work 52 weeks. If you do, you probably have like one or two clients here and there. Over Christmas, summer, you might get a couple of kids here and there, but majority, you're not going to be working a whole lot. So prepare yourselves. So if you know that you can get a lot of those clients, get those clients in, okay? Keep working those clients. Yes, you're tired. I'm exhausted. I don't think I could, if I have to ask a kid, what 7 times 5 one more time, I swear I will lose my mind. But, but at the same time, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And then when you get those low days or those low months, it's not so stressful. Now you can say, all right, I can vacay, or I can just chill, or I can prepare whatever I want to do. So that's the bulk of it. There's so much more, but I can only do so much in 20 to 25 minutes. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to actually visit with me and actually listen to my craziness. I want to give you 1 hour, a free 1 hour group chat. I really want you to be able to talk to me. I want to get to know you as much as you want to get to know me a little bit, and how we can like basically help each other out. You can find the link in the Facebook group, because that's where I'm basically waiting until you finish watching this video. So thank you again for coming and spending time with me, and hopefully everything that you want out of this business does come true. It is going to take work. It is going to take determination, and it's also going to take change of mindset.